come in for a few minutes and then take a tour of the facility, and then come back in and have time for discussion and questions. If you want to do intros, I'm Christy Reskus from the YWCA.
And I'm Marty Edwards, and I'm working with the YWCA on development.
Hi, I'm LaBea Williams, back with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I've been gone for several years.
Mona Lovett, Crosby Scholars.
Richard David with Natalie.
Brett Marshall.
Marilyn Oliver with Best Justin.
Noel Stevens, United Way.
Ken Pettigrew, United Way.
Alana James, United Way.
We wanted to start with just a little bit of background information. You guys know this well about some of the volunteers, and if I send this to you that may not know this about us. So we've served the community for over a century. We're really known for the Glade Street location, which was founded in 1942 where the building was established. Some of our most unique programs and services that we provide in the community actually came under the fold of the YW in the last 15 to 20 years. The Holly House, Best Choice, and our juvenile crime prevention, our second chance for graduation programs. We did build the Gateway and open those doors in 2007, and that's the building we operate now instead of the Glade Street facility. You guys know our programs, but they are pretty unique. The Holly House is the all-licensed female facility for women suffering from addiction. The Best Choice Center here is the program we'll talk about today. And then, of course, we've got our preventative health, diabetes prevention, and other programs at Gateway. We did pull in our video, which tells the story better than we can with the PowerPoint slide. So we'll show that.
I've been here for 2 years, and I lost 2 tooth. And before I came to Gateway, why? I had a lot of medical problems, but now I don't.
I'm not gonna say still long. I walk 32 miles a week. I walk 5 miles until Saturday. I walk 4 and Sunday. I walk 4. I train my body just like a New York car. Every 90 days I went for a checkup.
I feel like I got another whole new body without the YWCA, Egon's class here at Gateway. I don't know what I would have done, anything, because being around people, that helps a lot.
So anybody else 90 years old walk 5 miles, 32 miles a week.
I have more confidence in myself now. What must I do? But now, you know, like I said, I can do it. I can do it.
There's going to be obstacles and adversities that you're going to have to go through in life. And if I get that type of empowerment from participating in the Bench Choice Center, I'm able to pass along those type of skills, those attributes to my daughter, and she can pass them on to her daughter. I recall one of the staff members observing on the playground. She would back out of a situation but wouldn't speak on how it made her feel, isolate herself from the group, and no one really knew what was wrong. But this particular teacher, she talked about it and found a way to take that weakness and turn it around into a strength. Empowerment. You're empowered in so many different areas.
There was a time in my life when I was going through a lot of things, and I didn't know which way to turn. It's a gift of love, compassion, peace, knowledge, understanding. You know, and we all need that sometimes. We need that kind of encouragement to help us stand firm in things that we believe. And those are the kind of gifts that we get here. You know, we sat down in the office and we get to write our goal sheet. Gotta get a job, gotta go to school, you know what I'm saying? Get in the church, you know what I'm saying? Give back, things like that. And I think me actually sitting down and writing those things out, you know, and looking at them on paper and being able to go back a year later and say, wow, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished that. It's a gift.
It brings out another side of her that I don't see at home.
When you're around me, that encourage you to come on, to keep doing it. You want to do it. You want to do it.
You maintain it and keep it up.
People that don't even know you, people that didn't have to take a chance and still have open arms and say, I love you. You know, I see something in you that you don't see in yourself.
So one of the other things we did with our long-range plan this past year is really try to challenge ourselves on the programs and services we provide, how unique are they in the community and how needed are they. So we plotted them on the axis of most unique to least, highest need in the community and lowest need. And the good news is that everything we were doing was needed in the community. On the right-hand side, you can see the programs that we view are the most unique. If we were not here or went away, the clients would not be served in the capacity that we serve them today. Particularly the Holly House and Best Choice and the new programs at Gateway in terms of preventative. On the left-hand side, we had some really good youth wellness programs and some other on-sites that didn't have the academic enrichment component that Best Choice offers, and so we've decided to defocus on those so that we can really focus on where we're different and stronger. So what we're here to talk about today is the Best Choice Academic Enrichment Center, a little bit of a framework of who we serve today. 93% have scholarships based on family income. 83% of the families we serve are below 31,000 in income level. 78% today are from Title I schools. You know, the focus the last several years has been to really offer those scholarships to youth from Title I schools, but we still serve some youth from other schools. And even before an active change in direction of how we recruit or partner, 37% are from Place Matters and the United Way community-wide target schools. So we serve a breadth of youth. Largely minority and really busy single parents, multiple siblings. We have a lot of children that kind of grow up in our program and we see all of the children at some time, which is wonderful. And really good results when we look at 2014 and 15, 80% of the youth improved their reading and their math. We do think the model that we offer here at Best Choice is highly unique. On the left-hand side kind of captures why. We use certified teachers and have bilingual staff to make sure that we have the diversity we need to communicate with our children. The continuity of the staff here, we have 27 years of experience at Best Choice in the leadership team between Marilyn and Mildred, and not a lot of turnover in her staff, so it's a familiar face to the child. That relationship allows us to really form a lasting relationship with the families. They come here every day to pick up their children. We really get to know the families and know what's going on in their lives. We see them, some of them year-round, so all summer. So if they have challenges at home, sometimes Marilyn can pinpoint what's going on just because of that close relationship. The fact that it is a year-round program is really critical. You don't want the youth to lose ground in the summer. And the difference of Best Choice and other academic programs is we spend more time hands-on studying than playing and having kind of recess time. Even before we add in these great new partnerships, it is a hands-on mentor environment because of the ratios we use and because of the relationship with the certified teacher and the other staff with the child. And then recently, within the last year and a half, Maryland's added a parent advisory council, which has been a great resource so that we can get feedback in real time and make adjustments and learn what works for others to apply to other families. So the results, we talked about the grades for last year, 2014-15, 80% improved reading and math. Last year we had 0 conduct issues and no suspensions. I think Maryland's got 1 that's given her a 2. It's given her a hard time this year.
Middle schoolers.
Which happens. In terms of EOGs, I think all 4th graders pass their EOGs and all but 1 3rd grader. We looked at last year's results. And a big part of the program and what you'll hear when the youth come in at 5 is building confidence and character with the youth that we serve. We have a Best Choice affirmation cheer that we do every day in the summer and throughout different times during the fall. That's just a great way to reinforce for the children the importance of that. And then last summer we had 94% from the summer testing that improved their reading and math. So even though they're having fun on field trips, they were improving. We do have a year-round program, and we spend a lot of time busy and crazy in the summer for Maryland and Mildred, but we serve 10 weeks, 11-hour days, over 100 youth in the summer. We do provide the academic focus through the summer, and then we do some testing to see how we're doing with the kids. But one thing that Marilyn explained to me when she was giving me an orientation when I was new to the Y is a big part of what's important to her is to give them an experience that is so fun for them when they go back to school. They share it with their friends because a lot of these kids don't get to go on week-long vacations and fun things to share. So her Taste of Adventure summer camp has really been well-themed and had a lot of great diverse field trips, which you see here. She also brings in inspirational leaders from the community to come and give talks across various fields. You see there the business, dental, medical fields, engineering, law, and nursing. And then we have been able to partner with organizations to provide healthy snacks and hot meals, which is a real asset for the kids in the summer. And then every summer, thanks to the Flo family and a Reynolds American grant, we give free swim lessons. It started as youth, and now it's youth and adult. We did 500 last year at Gateway. So the repetition of every summer really helps continue to build those skills. These are just some of the pictures. We have so many other ones we could show, but from the field trips. And Herbalife, who's an additional partner, did t-shirts for the kids so we could recognize them in those bright green t-shirts, and just for safety to be able to spot our children in an easy way. So 2 partners we did want to share. Reynolds American has been a multi-year supporter. The reason we showed the video and Gateway and all that it has to offer is a grant from Reynolds American allows us to send every family here full facility membership or access to the Gateway facility for no charge. Included in that is a partnership with Farm Fresh Healthy Living and Dr. Sarah Kwan, where we sponsor the families in 16 weeks of produce and vegetables. They attend healthy cooking classes, and they also get to take a trip to the farm with their kids to see where the french fries come from, potatoes in the ground. We did an intake survey when we started this, and the families said that the reason for not going to a gym was not having membership was a little more than half, and being too tired, which is a reality that almost everybody faces. But these families are really busy and really tired. They also have health concerns. Hypertension and diabetes were the top 2. Their goals were to lose weight and just get healthier. Their number 1 goals for their kids were swim lessons and confidence building. And a lot of these youth don't have access to organized sports through school because of the financial commitment. So to be able to work out in an environment like Gateway. In terms of cooking, they said they knew how to cook healthy, but they didn't have access to the food because it's more expensive. And I think they have enjoyed the cooking classes. So we're about to go into year 3 of that. And that program is tracked with Dr. Sarah Quant, so you can measure long-term results of access to that produce and the education component of it. And then the swim lessons we mentioned. So that's a great partner. And then Herbalife, I guess it's year 2 support from them. They're most passionate about youth and nutrition, and not nutrition with their products, but us being able to provide healthy food for the children that we serve. They have done, they have a foundation in California where we can apply for a grant. They also have the local corporate presence that has funds to help us with things. So they've been a huge volunteer support for us, as well as a financial benefit as a partner. And then I'd say part of what we want to share today are there's a lot of intangibles that you can't see when you come on a site visit, and we're so thankful you moved it to 4:30 so you can see the kids. But if you came once a month, we really couldn't explain everything that happens here. And every year at the end of the season, the summer season, we have a really great celebration where the kids put on a performance, and they sing songs and do dances that they've worked on throughout the summer. We also have a Christmas party, and we have one with the Flows and one with Reynolds American that we've done a couple different years, and a Christmas celebration with the family. So we outgrew this space. It was so hot the first summer that we had all the doors open, and there were over 100 families here. We've moved it to Gateway now in that large studio upstairs. And then we have so many other supporters from schools like Wake Forest, Winston-Salem State. We've got the Flo family that does a ton here, Virginia, Newell, Maryland. You might have more that you...
Top Women and Top Teens, which are some community organizations, and the Links, which is an organization predominantly African American women. They come every year and do different craft activities with the kids.
We had an update last week with Robin Flo, because she reads every week here to the children. And
She has a one-on-one. She has a one-on-one.
with Abella. And they also do the swim lessons, and we had updated them on Reynolds American and Herbalife, but we hadn't updated them on the partnership with Crosby and Big Brothers. And Don Flo came to the meeting, and he doesn't normally come, and he said when we got to the slide with Big Brothers and Crosby, he said, I was going to ask you to work with them, like this is a great partnership that I like to see. And then he shared with us that he's been asked to work with Cook and Bev Emery on a best choice type model for Cook Elementary, which is interesting. So we're very lucky to have that support. I think we're going to transition to the new future evolution of our program and talk about the partnership with Crosby and Big Brothers. So we're going to show a video first.
2006, when Regina was about 9 years old, she was this tiny, little, quiet girl. Now she's this tall, beautiful, vibrant teenager. I'm so grateful that Big Brothers Big Sisters did an amazing job from the very beginning matching us. Programs like Big Brothers Big Sisters of America are very important because they help youth like Regina to learn to make good life choices and good life decisions?
If she wasn't here as my big sister, I'd probably still be like a year ago, still shy, afraid to express my feelings, to express my emotions, to like tell people how I feel when I feel it. One thing that I learned from Carrie is she's about family. And family means forget about me, I will leave. It means no matter what the circumstances, if I need her, she will always go out of her way to help me. She has opened up a whole new world for me. I'm able to go out and tell people who I am and not be afraid of them judging me. I just feel comfortable being myself and proud of her because of her.
Carrie is a dedicated big sister and has been for the last 9 years. She has been dedicated to Regina through all of the changes Regina's gone through, all of the life changes Carrie has gone through. It's been such a blessing to be part of Regina's life for the last 9 years. All of the wonderful memories we've created. I'm looking forward to the next few years and all of the things that will happen for Regina as she steps out into the world.
If it wasn't for my big brothers and sisters in the I wouldn't be here now. I would probably be on school and just giving up on life. Big brothers and sisters gave me a chance to be myself, to grow up, to learn from my mistakes, to not worry about the past, but focus on the future.
There are thousands of kids out there who just need someone to be their friend and to listen to them. I'm just very honored to be a part of an organization that's changing lives. It's changed mine.
The experts talk about their parts of the proposal.
And I'll start just by giving you a brief overview of Big Brothers Big Sisters. One of the things that's really great about this organization is that pretty much everybody knows about Big Brothers Big Sisters. This is a national video. We're actually working on our local video, and the proof will be back tomorrow, so I couldn't bring that. But this program is so well known, and this story is representative of thousands of stories all across the nation. And with us locally, we have over 600 matches that we're making on a yearly basis, where we're pairing individuals, caring adults generally, with children who just need positive reinforcement. And the program, again, has been really successful in developing these relationships. And because we have this one-to-one relationship with the volunteer, the mentor, with the mentee, we see lots of long-term success. We see people who are in relationships for 3, 4, 5 years, like this pair featured here, 9 years. We have people who have been in the program for 15 years. And again, the real success is not always that you're gonna, help a kid who's, down and out, or, just having a really tough time at home. It's really just about making a relationship where you might build something like self-confidence, like this little girl. All our kids are not from, these at-risk backgrounds. Some of them just need a friend, just need a mentor, just need a relationship. And so we see things like their test scores improve, their grades improve, but even more than that, they understand that they have the ability to do anything they want to in their lives. And so I've been really impressed with the work that we've done. In addition to this story, I have my own story when I was a big sister and my little sister, and just the relationship that we were able to develop. It helped her, obviously, just in terms of being able to meet with me once a week when we do homework and do fun things. And we went to the BB&T building downtown, something really simple, right? And we looked out over the city. She had never seen that. Those types of moments were good for me as well. It was me feeling I was giving back, I was also receiving something. And I think you would ask any mentor in our program, and they would say the exact same thing, that it's definitely reciprocal. It's a reciprocal relationship. The children get something, but also the volunteers. Again, we see a reduction in risky behaviors for people who might be going down the wrong path. And we have a really talented staff of match support specialists who make sure that when we have issues that arise that might be something more serious, that we have the folks dedicated to addressing that. We're working with the parents. So it's a really holistic approach to making sure we provide everything that this child needs that's in our program. So we're looking forward to this partnership, these new innovative ways to collaborate with the YW and with Crosby Scholars. And again, I'm really, really pleased at the work that we've been able to do, and I think we're going to have an even greater impact with more children.
So I'm up for Crosby. Crosby Scholars is a college access program. It's available to all students in Winston-Salem-Forsyth County Public Schools free of charge. We start working with the students as early as 6th grade. The last year student can join Crosby Scholars is 10th grade. And I think the exciting thing about this partnership is we've always wanted to reach students a little earlier. How do we get them connected to Crosby while they're still in elementary school? And have them looking forward to the fact that when I go to middle school, I get to join Crosby Scholars. That's a big, because going to middle school is scary. I mean, some of us might be able to remember back that far. But anyway, but it's scary.
Junior high.
Yeah, junior high. Well, I say that because I was talking to one of my seniors the other day, and I said, did you come to the Right Decisions Right Now camp? And so he would have come as a rising 7th or 8th grader. He goes, Miss Lovett, that's a long time ago. I can't remember that far. And I said, oh my goodness. Okay. I said, no, it was a long time ago for me. That was a long time. But really, so this partnership is exciting because we want to introduce students early on to college access, the possibility of college, how they can start planning and preparing for that, and just thinking about what do I want to do with my future. Crosby introduces a lot of those opportunities to students and helps to support students all along the way from grade 6 through 12 to help make those thoughts turn into a reality for them. And so working with the 4th and 5th graders and having our students who have to do community service, our students did 104,000 hours of community service last year, having them go through a training program that the Big Brothers Big Sisters program is going to offer. That's value added for our students who are in the program, and then to help them be able to develop this relationship with a younger student and talk about what they thought about when they were heading to middle school, what they thought about when, what they think about when they think of what am I going to do in the future, what kinds of things they've experienced and what types of things they're yet to experience. Developing that relationship and helping our students to have some more ongoing type of community service where they build skills, but they can serve as a role model. They understand that the decisions that they're making, the character that they're displaying actually have an impact on a younger person. All of those things are benefits to our students. And of course, to our program, we're trying to reach out, do more outreach, get some of the students in Crosby who may just
have a grading issue where there's been a moisture issue with a sidewalk, that we have to correct that, slant it the other way, so that the basement will not have a moisture issue anymore. And then the other part of the grant allows us to build and improve a kitchen downstairs. We've got a shell of a kitchen, but we'll have a really nice one that could possibly be a kids' cafe one day, but at least allows us to do a lot more with healthy snacks and food for the families. And then as part of, and there's also some hardware that Herbalife's doing for us with new phones and a laptop projector, which any little thing helps. And then as part of this request for Place Matters, we have written into the capital component heating and air downstairs. And right now we can serve 60 to 70 children here, and with the basement being properly renovated, we could get up to 94 in the school year, and that we think is a really important component for us to serve more youth at the same center. We've talked a lot about recruitment and being able to work in advance with principals and guidance counselors to find and identify children that this program would be well suited for, as well as working in advance if we're awarded the grant, and assigning the mentors and getting a head start, and then leveraging the parent advisory council we have now to engage the civic group and see how we can include more residents into guidance, oversight, some fundraising, help around the center, local churches and other organizations. Anything I'm leaving out from?
Well, I think the Big Brothers and Crosby already have participants who are from the place-based neighborhoods, and you might want to talk about that.
We have about 856 students who are in the program who are in the area of the place-based.
And in addition to that, or Civic, I should say that's the official new name, our official name now. And, but in addition to that, we also have, we have a Hispanic Outreach Parent Advisory Council. We have 6 parents who are in this area as well. So we want to leverage those resources and make sure that all of those students and families understand that this is, a possibility for them. We don't do tutoring in Crosby. All of our things are more life skills and soft skills, preparing for things like preparing for the SAT and ACT, study skills, test taking skills. So they're things to help students be successful, but they're not, subject matter type tutoring. And so we've been looking for a way to incorporate that, but not for us to do it. And so encouraging our students to utilize the resources that are here would be a huge, uptick in how they're getting prepared and getting that subject matter assistance that they need to be successful. Because again, we can tell you all about how to get to college and prepare you, but you still have to have those grades to get in. And that's where getting the kids the academic support from Best Choice will give them an advantage in this process as well.
Marilyn, you've had parents that then recruit other students, and would you talk a little bit about that?
Especially this year in our middle school, we have at least, I think, 5 in middle school and probably around 10 elementary who are here because their parents' friends are parents of our kids. And they heard about our program and they applied. So we've been very pleased with word of mouth. We don't do a lot of marketing. For one thing, we're limited. 70 is the maximum at this point that we can have in the after school, and that's really a lot because we like to keep our ratios 1 to 12, 1 to 15 as much as possible. This is done with the help of work study students from Wake Forest. We have currently an intern from Forsyth Tech. We've also had work study students. I think I had one from Winston-Salem State also. But we want to keep it no more than 12 to 15 per teacher. And we have 5 certified teachers who work in the school system. And because they work in the school system, sometimes they don't get here, as early as the other teachers. But we have great staff, a lot of experience working with children. And most of the staff return for the summer. Christy mentioned our academics. I learned, this will be my 3rd, 4th summer. The time is really fine. No, not quite. I came in the end of 2011, so this will be my, oh gosh, I'm really getting up there. Anyway, we learned after the first summer, we cannot do academics for all 10 weeks of the summer. It burns the kids out, it burns the teachers out. We are just not very happy parents at all. So
it's a balance.
We decided that we would change that to 6 weeks. We do not offer the academics during the first week because a lot of our teachers are transitioning because a lot of them are still in school. So usually after the 2nd week, and we'll go through the 8th week. And we do have a curriculum. It's fun, they may have a lesson from the newspaper. They're doing things for current events. They're doing lessons on a theme, depending upon who the speakers may be or what we're studying that week. And the kids don't groan and mumble as much about it because we have breakfast and they have this for 2 hours. The academic focus is sharp for 2 hours. And then throughout the day, we have introduced academics in ways that, they don't really recognize. One thing that we did last year that was really unique, and I have to give my teachers all the credit, we have quite a few middle schoolers. Last year, we had a lot of middle school boys, and I think it's because parents did not want these boys home during the summer. So we had 2 groups. We had a group called the Wise Guys, and the other group was the BCC, which is Best Choice Center Pearls, a girls group. And these were the older kids, and they met once a week. They talked about stuff related to adolescence and teens and their bodies and manners. And one of the things that we did, we had a little luncheon over at the Gateway where they had to dress up and, you know, they had to use their knives and forks. My friend from Park Extension came and did a lesson on etiquette. This year, my goal is to take them to a restaurant, Kristen. That is my goal, to take them to a restaurant where they can use these skills. But it was really, and everybody was just, you know, when kids change their attire, they change their attitude. And so, you know, everybody was dressed, including the staff, and it was a great experience. So that's something that came solely from the teachers, and so we are wanting to continue to incorporate that. We do a lot of things that are based on their, you know, their ages and development, but that's just something that came from them. We thought was a great idea, and we have plans to continue to do it. We accept children as young in the summertime as 4 if they've completed daycare and they're going to kindergarten. And it is amazing how that helps those kids get prepared for public kindergarten. Even though they've been in daycare, but here you have a little bit more responsibility. You know, you have personal responsibility. And one thing about, you know, our staff, you know, we have this old school mentality. You know, we're not going to call you. You know, the only time I called a child, and I can remember last summer, was because I was trying to make this child feel very welcome. This child was a little white kid, and he was having a fit, and his mama was freaking out. And I was, you know, doing my best, sweet, nice lady imitation, you know. and I was doing everything except get on my knees and, you know, beg this child. And the mom was just, you know, this is a predominantly black and brown program. We have little white kids occasionally, but the mom just was so upset about it. The kid just was freaking out and crying, so, you know, we gave her a full refund, and, you know, they went someplace else. But we're like, call it like it is. And Kristen has been here, she's seen, I mean, we're not mean, but, you know, we try
Discipline.
It's discipline. You know, discipline's root word is to teach from disciple, you know. So we have to teach these children, and we teach them that their behavior is going to affect their entire life. And I tell them, when you go out, you are not embarrassing them. You know, it's like,
And it's about safety.
yeah, we don't have a lot of that. So anyway, I'm going to stop right now. We have our group led by Mr. Solomon Jordan, who was a Wake Forest intern who came back and worked with us. And so we're going to do our cheer and our affirmation. It is real. Can we turn on? Oh, no, they've all signed permission. Okay, it's internal. Yeah.
So we're going to hear the affirmation cheer and then take a quick tour of the facility and come back in for any questions and discussion.
We're doing this now because a lot of the kids will be leaving in the next 15 minutes. We don't want you all to miss this. And as I said, we have kindergarten through 8th grade. And I have some of my Wake Forest students, interns from SciTech, as well as my teachers. Some of my Wake Forest students may not know the song, but that's okay, because they just came, so they didn't get the practice. And some is new to some of the kids because they were here last summer. We've had a little practice. All right, this is Mr. Larry Worthy. He is one of our teachers, and Mr. Worthy is our hype man, as we say. He gets the kids excited and fired up, and so he's going, what we do first? Affirmation. They will do the affirmation, and they will do the Best Choice Center song, which was written by some of our staff members last year.
We the children of the Best Choice Center believe in God.
We the children of the Best Choice Center believe in God.
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
We believe in ourselves.
We believe in ourselves.
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
We believe in each other.
We believe in each other.
Our mothers and our fathers.
Our mothers and our fathers.
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
Today we will strive to do well.
Today we will strive to do well.
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
Tomorrow we will
Carolyn, you want to lead us on a blitz tour so we can get back to questions?
Very fast. We will go back to the lobby and go downstairs.
We did the blitz tour. We didn't want to cut off any discussion or questions you guys had or things we didn't cover that you want us to cover.
So I think one of the questions we wanted to talk a little bit about, this has come up with the Impact Council discussion, and across the board with all the Place Matters work, is kind of a sustainability and where you see the program growing and how more ownership comes from residents, and that comes not just from the ownership of the program but also financially. We've talked a little bit about fundraising and some of the things that you're excited about from that standpoint. I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit more.
Yeah, and then you guys chime in too. Well, first it's the capacity expansion to be able to serve more kids. And then when we started with our first slide of who we serve today, we do have some full-paying students. So where you could really balance diversity and bring in some full-paying students, that would help you continue to bring in revenue while offering generous scholarships. And you've seen with our budget, that's one of the largest items is the level of scholarship and our assumption that the families that we're going to serve need the highest level of scholarship. When we started working on this early on, Eric encouraged that we want to bring these services to the families. So if you need to be generous with scholarships, we should do that. We also have multiple supporters that we've talked about, Reynolds American and Herbalife, and good relationships with other foundations that I think we would always be looking at to make sure that we could bring in funds. And long term, we're working on sustainable debt relief on the gateway, and then we have an operating revenue stream that would also be available for us if we had, a funding issue. And we're making some good progress on that, but we're not there yet, for sure. And then I think the engagement with the residents. I mean, what's beautiful about the Best Choice is it is a community right now where we have this relationship with the families, and I feel like they really trust us and we trust them. And if we can bring the community around this area with that model, it really feels like it would be such a nice fit, and surrounded by local churches and other organizations that support the families.
And we would hope that any residents who had children, if they enrolled in this program, would be a part of our Parent Advisory Council and participate in our activities. We had a meeting last night, and they have plans for different activities, not only for fundraising, but they're doing something to recognize the teachers because they appreciate the awesome job the teachers do, and they ask, could we do something for each one of the teachers here? And I just thought that was wonderful, but it's because of relationships. And we've helped families with other issues that are not related to education simply for the fact that we see them every day. We kind of know what's going on. They trust us. They share. And hopefully we are able to connect them to other resources, everything. It may not even be a financial situation. It could be something related to counseling, therapy, or even something like with the schools. They come to us, well, what school should I send my child to? What's a good middle school? What do you suggest? Because they trust us. And I think if the civic residents became a part of that, we could develop those relationships. That is the beauty of having consistent staff members. They don't see different people every year. They may see someone who's been added, but the core teachers are here. And I can say that I've only lost maybe 2, and that's because I believe I lost 2 bilingual staff because, of course, they are in high demand, and they were able to, go someplace else and, for higher salaries.
You have a trusting relationship with someone outside of the school that you see all the time that support in addition to the folks that work in the
And
school.
sometimes these teachers actually serve as mentors to the parents and assist them when they have to go for an IEP meeting or if there's an issue with a teacher. Having another professional is very helpful, and they've done that several times.
Well, along the lines of resident and community engagement, in your responses to the questions we asked, particularly surrounding resident engagement, there was mention of partnership, particularly with Grace Presbyterian, or conversations with Grace Presbyterian in terms of building out this resident engagement model or opportunities. And so I'm interested, knowing that Big Brothers Big Sisters is already working on a proposal for some work that is where Grace is a funded partner. And that, so I'm interested in how churches, or in particular Grace, would help facilitate that kind of relationship building with residents, and what's the end goal of that relationship building?
I think Shawan is who felt like that, that could be a good connection. You know, I know you can talk about
I can speak a little bit to it, just in terms of I've had one meeting with Reverend Marshall. But I think everybody is pretty much on the same page that even though with that other proposal around the Carver area where they are, I think everybody's pretty much on the same page that whatever we can do to help children, particularly around the graduation requirements and all this read-to-achieve legislation, all these other things that are impacting kids, the energy is there. And he's basically said, Reverend Marshall is basically in conversation with Shawan, and again, my conversation with him yesterday, he's willing to have church members devote their time, their attention to helping out in different ways, whether that means they're providing activities for children, or they're coming to be mentors, or you know, for us specifically, if they're helping with wait list activities. I just think that the partnership that they're willing to have with us is just really, it's all encompassing. Whatever they can do to help, because they have such an outreach, this spirit of outreach, they want to help, not just in that one area, but wherever they might be able to help in the community. I don't know necessarily what it looks like long term, but again, just in my conversations with him, he seems very willing to have either he or his church members provide different activities and different programs that would help the children that we were talking about reaching.
So has it been discussed how that relationship can help build relationships that draw on the gifts, skills, talents of residents who live in the area, whose children might not be in the program but have things that they could possibly offer to the space? So I'm wondering in what ways, and you might not know yet, and that's fine. That relationship would be used to perform that core piece of the ABCD model. That's what I'm after here.
Yeah, it seems like to me there's, and I've only been to Whitehorn this 4 years, but there's low awareness of the Best Choice Center and what services are provided here. So increasing the awareness of how we serve already is a huge opportunity. And even people close by, I think, don't realize the specialized work that's done here. So we talked about open house forums to invite people in to understand the work that we do here with these partner organizations that are willing to help and share the message of Best Choice and how we identify potential clients through the schools or through the neighborhoods that we think it's a good fit. And then building on relationships that exist that Brother Crosby and Big Brothers have that we have yet to build.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm sort of speaking, but y'all correct me, okay? But it seems like the people that will be most interested in the program are the people who said, I wish I had a place for children to go in the summer for camp, or I wish my child had access to a computer, or need after-school care. So in some ways I feel like it's a little different from like a huge community-wide if people are not related to the children that are here. And that you probably you're going to have the most interest would be with parents and guardians, and then maybe their aunts and uncles, and would get involved. I don't know what y'all are hearing. If the community folks want to be involved in helping with the children if they don't have them. I don't know.
There's certainly opportunities in identifying. If you look at the civic neighborhoods and some of the more northern neighborhoods have an older population, and so part of that multi-generational piece came from making sure that seniors felt that they still had opportunities not only to gain new skills but to share skills they already have. And a lot of that is just being a caring adult, that we talked about. So I think when it comes to creating those opportunities, there's a lot of interest in how can. And it's that ownership piece, maybe it's you start partnering with residents, and then long term, whether it's a decade or whether it's 2 years from now, how do you make sure that residents are involved? And I think you mentioned that there's a parent advisory council. So are you finding are you having success with how old is it? I guess I should ask you. Is that new?
It's only started last year.
Okay.
And they're all parents of children here, and they have had 2 fundraisers. One was a yard sale, one was a bingo night and a fish fry. And they have the next one scheduled April 30th, another yard sale.
For another example that may be relevant, so the diabetes prevention program we have that's launching at Gateway for Success, it's in Novant and Wake Forest collaboration. And we have an advisory council of folks that are going to help govern that. I mean, you could look at, in addition to the parent advisory council that gives us feedback on the existing program, having a council of residents that helps give advice, guidance, recommendations for other ways to network through the community. I mean, I think we're just early in the thoughts of how, because of the time of getting to meet and getting to engage and talk to folks as we were preparing the application.
And as with our advisory council, and ours is Hispanic Outreach Advisory Council, what we do is try to determine what the needs are. And so, and we let them tell them what's confusing about, sending your kids to school. What do you need help with? What don't you understand? And so the title over psychology for the school system is bilingual. So he came in and spoke to the parents about what is an IEP and what does all of that mean. If your kids are having any type of behavioral issues, this is how it's handled in the school system. And so we use ours in a way to kind of say, what do you need? And we can find those people to come in and the experts. We're not the experts in everything, but when it comes to what types of things do you need to help your kids be successful in school, those parents give us that feedback, and then we go out and find the people who can come in and share that information with them to help them so that they can help their students be successful. So I envision us being able to do that as well, getting that feedback from the residents. What do you need? And you may not be able to get to the school, but you can get over here to the Best Choice Center. We can host those things for you so that we can help supply that support to families.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I may go very basic, but could you just explain, say, the difference between the Place Matters funding program versus existing works, how including Big Brothers, Crosby Scholars will enhance what's happening here at Baseball, that's choice and create outcomes. And I know a piece of that is the capital expenses, which can allow you to serve our students. And then maybe another piece of that is how will you talk a little bit, will those expansions just kind of ideally just be from the civic area, or will that be open to anyone else in the community?
Is your specific question the Big Brothers Crosby components that we're adding here, is that open to other?
I guess that's certainly a piece of it, yeah. And I mean, it's how does Place Matters program funding different versus, say, the existing community-wide, and just kind of what's happening every day, that sort of stuff.
I mean, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess what already there are children who are at the Place Matters schools and neighborhoods who are coming here. And Marilyn might talk to this. I mean, I think there's a real interest in increasing the numbers and serving those neighborhoods because of the proximity. And so I think we're all talking about that focus toward attracting those children. Also, there's community-wide funding, which Best Choice has, and so there's also, the desire to attract those children too.
I think too, for the past X years, the United Way focus was all Title I schools. So we've served, a lot of youth from different schools, largely Title I schools, and now the community-wide is a set of schools that we're really trying to work hard with. So making sure that we recruit those students to serve here at Best Choice, and we've had a partnership with community-wide with East On and Hall Woodward that included the Big Brothers and Crosby for East On. So when we pulled our numbers and said 37% of the youth we already serve are from Place Matters and the community-wide schools, we're not off to a bad start without even actively, aggressively trying to recruit more. So reaching out to those schools and where we have buses and the parents are interested in our services, being able to bring them here and really putting a top focus on the Place Matters with that increased capacity, then we can keep serving diverse.
But it would not just be for Place Matters.
Yeah,
that would perhaps be a priority since that is what, that focus is. But if we had the space, we would accept, it would be great if we could expand to 24, and all 24 came from those particular schools and neighborhoods.
Parents' choice.
Yeah,
so it's us driving awareness of the program and principals and working with guidance counselors to identify the children that need it, then the parents saying yes, that's what they want to participate in. And I think in one of our community-wide meetings with Eric, we did talk about as it grew over time, you could really focus it on that community if it was a model that was working and use your capacity to from the neighborhoods.
Is there a waiting list now?
Not at this point. Usually our waiting list is in the summer because we can only accept a certain number of children per classroom. That's not as much an issue right now in the after-school program, but in the summer it is, because we do not want to have more than 25 in the classroom. Because after that, it just.
So in the results outcome sheet, at the time that we did it, 19% were from, this is right, so we were going to increase from 19% from the target neighborhoods to 37% in the first year. That's what we're trying to do. And so I think we're at 24% right now. So we would want to keep on increasing that. And do you know, I mean, like, I don't think y'all were able to get the number of children that are in the targeted neighborhoods. We had.
Yeah, actually.
Did, oh, it was in fall maybe?
Yeah, it's going to break down that age.
Okay, I'll try to do it again.
Yeah, and you know, it's not a huge population, right?
Yeah, sure.
Certainly, the civic population itself is 5,500. This is, yeah, not a huge market, if you will, but and that's, I know that the larger purpose of the work is to focus on making the impact in those targeted areas intense, you know, and doing intense work in those areas to see if the impact, if we could have impact everyone as a community. Now, and so, let's say this program didn't get funded, you all will not be involved in Connected with Best Choice Center, is that correct? So you really are only connected with Best Choice Center because of this application?
No, we're already connected through community-wide.
Okay.
But it would increase the number of people, students that could be able to participate in that.
Because as I said, we were having conversations about this before the Civic.
Right.
About how we can get, more of our students volunteering and how we can get more of the kids in Best Choice in Crosby and be able to track them throughout. And I think the actual structure that the Big Brothers Big Sisters program would offer to our students in how to, because it sounds easy. Oh, I'll just go and sit and talk with somebody once a week, and we'll sit. That's going to get old real fast. Or a high school student and elementary, that's going to get old real fast. So that structure that program can provide that we don't currently incorporate will help our students then be able to stick with it and inspire and motivate the younger kids to come to be Crosby and to think about college.
And is it right? Your goal is to get high school students that are from the Place Matters schools.
That's our goal.
And the other thing that Mona and I talked about, we've been asked this question by United Way in the past, what happens to these kids after the 8th grade? Well, we really don't know. It's only anecdotal. Their parents come by, we run into them in the grocery store, and they tell us how their kids are doing. But with this connection, Mona told me she can follow through college.
Is it an issue for, because you currently have 19%, or sorry, when you started, it was 19% from the Place Matters, or 24%, I'm sorry. Currently 24%.
Yeah, it's 24.
Right. So are you finding that transportation is an issue or getting folks, because, it's not that you're miles away or anything, it's just still requires transportation to get to Best Choice Center. Is that a big aspect of recruiting or making it easier for some of the Civic residents to get
It's
here?
more to get home because we provide transportation with our buses from their schools, but the parents have the responsibility of picking them up. And it's been bandied about, taking them home, but we lose all that connection. If we are picking them up from school and taking them home, parents may not be there. So the Best Choice model doesn't exist because part of our model is our relationships and our connections with the parents. And we actually have some families who live down the street who don't have cars, who walk, and their children go to Eastside Middle School.
And we have exited the after-school program at Gateway so that we could focus all the buses here for the Best Choice Center, and we got a new bus last year that's a bigger bus.
A new used bus.
Yeah, slightly used. The nonprofit world.
Yeah, new to you, right?
Exactly.
No, that's interesting because I know we hear it all the time. There might be services available, and it could be just it could be across the street for years and you just didn't realize it was for you too, but a lot of times it is transportation. I was just wondering how that has affected, I mean, you went from 19% to 24%, so it seems like folks are making that transition, but it was just something that reading through it, I was thinking, it's not directly on maybe New Walkertown or Carver, for example, but it seems like people are making that transition and have transportation for it.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was looking through your data, it looked like, so I'm not sure I was parsing it right, but that a lot of people in the, it's the Deer Crest and it was at track
1602. Or 17 was Lakeside.
Okay.
1602.
Yeah, okay, that's
Oh,
right.
no,
And so they weren't using the city buses to get to work or something. So it made me think, well, does that mean that they have cars or they're riding with friends if they're going to work? So I just didn't know whether people maybe do have access to some transportation so they could come pick the children up.
Transportation, we didn't, I forget the census tract numbers, but I know on the survey they did with the residents themselves, we kind of just put that all together, which that skewed a little bit towards the north. The northern neighborhoods, which are a little wealthier, and may have more access to transportation. Even in that survey, 20% of folks still said they're using public transportation primarily. That's a number that was, and I remember, was higher than the overall census figures. Almost maybe indicating that transportation is more of an issue than it is. And I think from our anecdotal conversations, that's certainly what we've heard. And honestly, with our resident impact council, we think how big an issue that is. And even, I see headlines all the day of just how big of an issue transportation is to increasing someone's mobility and just their opportunity for a better job. So I think that's an issue that is significant in these areas. And honestly, that we all need to do a better job of addressing just as a community.
Yeah, that was certainly just a call out for, again, across the board, or is that going to be a barrier to attracting more folks? And it seems like we've made substantial progress, and so I was just curious if it was something you're hearing or if it's something that you've certainly parents I'm sure will let you know if they're going to have an issue picking up a child or something, but it's definitely something to think about as we move forward, because it really, really does come up as the most prevailing issue. And even when folks have a car, then is it reliable? And then, now can I afford to